Alright, what's up everybody, it's Reclaimer, and welcome back to another episode of the viewer review. Today, we have a Regret Team Slayer from Gabeshot, who is, I believe, if I can find out, I think he's Kid Nice Dynamite, let me check. Yeah, so, Gabeshot or Kid Nice Dynamite, this is a Regret Team Slayer in the HCS playlist, and this is a little bit of an interesting one, because I believe they lose this game 50-15 or so. So there are a number of things that could happen, whether it's they're not making very good plays. Whoa, I'm gonna talk about the voice crack. Whether it's that the blue team isn't making very good plays together, or they're not making very good individual plays, or the red team is just working really well together. But we're gonna take a look at this game and figure out what these guys could have done differently. A pretty standard breakout. I fixed that real quick. Pretty standard breakout one for the overshield, but then sort of hovered over it for a second. I don't really know what that was, but you got the overshield burn, so there wasn't really anything wrong with that. So your team just went 4 dead, so you should really stay back and play your life. That's really good, throwing some pre-nades. So that was a good play right there. You didn't fly out, and you didn't give up an easy death. You put a shot on that guy, so you did a little bit of damage, and you're staying alive. So pretty good. You really don't need to die here, so you got some good damage down and you're staying alive. Nothing really too bad with this gameplay here. You don't really want to stay back here too long because... Alright, so 2 of your teammates just died because... Alright, so that's kind of a difficult situation. So if we look at that real quick, there are 2 of your teammates, so you and one other guy are sitting back in this base and not moving, right? You're hiding, you're trying to stay alive and not take damage, but your other 2 teammates were already pushed up, and so they were in a 4-on-2 for the top side of the map and basically had no help because you put like 3 shots on one guy but then back down, and your teammate down here did nothing, and so he's not putting any damage down. You're only putting a little bit of damage down, and then you didn't put damage down after that, and so it's basically a 4-on-2, and your teammates are almost always going to die. And what this means now is that they have complete control of the map. 2 of your teammates are dead, and they should have a generally good idea of where the last 2 guys are, being you and your teammate down there. And so what's probably going to happen here is both of you are going to get collapsed on, and unless somebody makes a miraculous individual play, you guys are both going to die here, and it's going to end up being 8-0. So, a little bit unfortunate. Probably could have played a little bit better to help out your teammates. Somehow get a kill there. So that was good. Somehow get 2 out of that. So that's a really good play out of you. That's a really heads-up play to look at the right angles and end up coming down with 2 kills there, which is actually a super good play to even get 1 kill, but to get 2 kills is great. So really good job there. So right now they're all on the bottom of the map except for this guy who has his back to you. So this is your perfect opportunity to take the top side of the map and start putting some damage down on these guys. So this is a little bit of a clunky individual battle. That's HCS radar at its finest. Probably I really don't think you should have dropped there, because always height advantage is a huge thing in Halo, and this map especially, which is so rotation and collapse heavy. Height advantage is a hugely important thing. Good individual win though, so that's a good way to recover. You need to stay alive and get your shields here. Good, but now you need to start playing with your teammates and getting a little bit aggressive here. Sort of a bait and switch with your teammates there. But yeah, you guys need to get out of the space though, because you guys are just sitting here waiting to get collapsed on, and so somebody needs to make some plays to get out of here. So one of your teammates dies. You need to be careful how you go about this though, because the overshield's coming up right now, and so if you're up here and you're staying up here, like nobody's gonna be there. You need to, because they have guys on caster. You have 3 guys blue card, so yeah, this is really bad right here. Let me just go back a little bit. So right here, all right, obviously we talk about it a lot, but overshield is a hugely important part of the game, and on this map, the overshield and the plasma caster come up at the same time. I think every single time. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But right here, you're basically just sitting here watching, and this is not a bad angle most of the time, right? Holding car to car, because people a lot of the times will elect to come out car side instead of pink side because of the height advantage, and it's easier to get to top middle, and the combo spawns up here. So there's a number of reasons, and obviously cover and like less nades and stuff. Easy access to top middle, all of that. So that makes car a really like preferable side of the map when trying to get top control and when trying to push out from your bases. But the problem here is that, and whether you didn't know this or you just didn't pay any attention or whatever, the overshield's coming up like right now. it's 9:55, and the overshield comes up around 53 because it takes just about 7 seconds on every single map to get from spawn to overshield. So the second overshield is almost always going to come up around the 53 to 51 mark, and you are sitting here. You have a teammate coming up here, and then there's a teammate who just died, I think, who was also standing here. So you've got 3 guys blue car who aren't doing anything as the overshield comes up, and then you've got another teammate over here who is fighting this guy pink side, but who doesn't have the height advantage, so he's probably going to die. And so basically what's going to happen here is they're going to get the overshield, and they're going to get the plasma caster, and you guys are going to die more. So what needs to happen here is once you get around that 10-10 mark or whatever, once you get within, I'd say within 20 seconds of that overshield, you need to start playing for it. And so what happens is one guy going car when the overshield comes up is not necessarily a bad thing. You maintain some of that top control, and you can always play for this noob combo right here, which spawns top car. And so you can make a play on burning the overshield, and sometimes people will elect to do that. Sometimes people off the start will even neglect the overshield entirely and then just go for the combo and try to get a burn on it. So this isn't bad in of itself, but when you have like your entire team is sitting back and nobody's really doing anything, as the overshield comes up, you're basically just handing them control as well as the overshield. And so it's not good. So just pay attention to that. And then now you guys are down on numbers. You and your teammates, you've got 3 teammates sitting here. You're gonna get collapsed on here. So you got some okay damage down on the overshield guy, but you really need to get out of here. That angle specifically, you just exposed yourself. So you could have just as easily gone from. All right, so this seems like a small thing, but let me just break this down again. You wanted to go from car to top middle, and so you know there's guys in blue base, right? Obviously, you know there's guys in blue base, and you know that the overshield guy is in blue base as well. So what you could have done is you could have run, if you wanted to go top middle, you could have gone from blue car through top car to top middle. And the reason why that's better is because there's this big wall here, right? There's this big wall, and this angle is much better to take because there's all this cover here, and you can even like catch some of these guys by surprise, because after they clear out this base, sometimes they're going to run out car, sometimes they're going to run out bridge, and so you don't want to jump from sometimes we call this the nip. If you want to jump from here to top middle, because that just exposes yourself. And see, what happened there is you took 3 shots, and so you're 2 shots, so you're hiding to get your shields, and your teammate's in a 1-on-1 over here, and it could have been a 2-on-1 situation, and a 2-on-1 situation is almost always a guaranteed kill on the person who is outnumbered. So just something to think about there. Your teammate is in a battle, and now there's a guy behind you, so your teammate dies, and then now you're top middle with all 4 of the other team. So you get a good kill, but now you're 2-shot. There's 2 guys behind you, pink 2. I don't really know how you haven't gotten cleaned up. I don't know what the other 2 guys. There were literally 2 people standing pink 2, and you somehow made it out of your life with your life. So I don't want to be too hard on you, but that's not really a good play on your part. That's more of a non heads up play on their part. That's just they didn't notice you, or they didn't get the call out, or maybe they were solo queuing and they just didn't know you were there. But yeah, definitely not great, right? So you need to try to put as much damage on as possible, and your team goes 3 dead. So right here, your last teammate's going to die here. There's like 3 people looking at him. All right, so you're going to be down by a hefty margin here. So right here, what you got to do when you're faced with a situation like this where you're down 7-22, you got to go into milk mode, right? You have to get with your teammates. You got to play corners, and you got to do your best to bait and switch, jump around corners, weird movement, ground pounds, anything you can do to try to catch them off guard, things that they won't be expecting, because when they're pushing into other bases, they're going to be expecting people to be back here. They're going to be expecting people to be hiding in the toilet and the lift. They're going to be expecting people to play corners like these 2 right here in the pink attic. So you got to do some weird stuff, right? You got to start jumping around. You got to get up here on car 4, you know, whatever it takes, right? Just start being weird, start trying to mess with them, and definitely do not hold forward. That is the worst thing you can do when especially a team like that, who is obviously proven already to be pretty good, is sort of snowballing a lead. The one thing that you don't want to do is just hold forward and keep handing them kills and keep flying, because it's not going to go well for you guys. So you get some good damage done on one guy. You made one guy 1-shot, but you're kind of tunnel visioning that guy a little bit. But good job to give that guy up. You sort of take that route again. That route in that situation, it's not as bad, but still, you could just as easily go from car to top car, sorry, And right here, you're just kind of flying around. You're trying to put some cross-map shots down. And so what you need to do is you need to find your teammates, and you need to sort of try to stick with them and put shots down. So, I mean, there's nothing terrible about that, what just happened. You basically just started getting collapsed on, and there wasn't anything you could do. So, nothing terrible about that. But, yeah, you just basically... Overshield's coming up. Your teammate's 2 dead. So at this point, you're probably going to want to play for that caster. You're probably going to want to play for the newcomer. You're probably going to want to do stuff like that. But you just kind of sat pink attic and then fell and then didn't... You're kind of not really doing anything here. I mean, yeah, you're putting shots on the OS guy. But you just kind of sat there and, like, you let them grab OS. And if you let them grab OS, like, if you go 2 dead... right as the overshield's coming up, you're probably not going to get the overshield unless somebody makes a miraculous, like, flying play to grab it. So what you probably should have done is you probably should have... There are, like, a couple things you can do. You can play for the caster and try to put as much damage down as possible, try to waste some of that ammo so that they can't use it, and try to put as much damage down as possible on the overshield guy and on anybody else around him. You can try to wrap through the base and go car to get the noob combo to try to deactivate the overshield. Or you can sort of milk in the base and try to play around the backsmack. If you think that he's going to come from a certain angle, you could try to play to get behind him and get a backsmack. And if you can't get a backsmack, get a couple melees, throw some grenades, you know, do whatever you can to put damage down on that overshield guy to make him less effective. But by basically sitting there on the pink attic and the pink street and not really moving, you basically just handed them control, handed them the overshield, and then they were able to push without any problem. Because when one guy has the overshield, he can be the front, you know, sort of the front runner, and I don't know if I use that word correctly, but he can sort of be the leader and soak up all that damage while his teammates just come in behind and clean up kills and stuff. So right there is sort of an example. If we go back, I know I was talking, but if we go back to the spawn right here, sort of an example of holding forward. Whenever you come off spawn, especially when they have control, your team just went forward at it, and you're all bottom of the base. Like we've always been talking about positional advantage, height, all that kind of stuff, as well as playing around your teammates. And so what you shouldn't do here is just fly out Pink Street, which not only are you holding forward and you're just sort of walking out and presenting yourself to them, you're walking out into an area which we talk about Pink being the less advantageous side to push from, especially when you're not in control, because it's so open. They have the positional advantage. There's no cover. That's why going car is super important. So what you probably should do here is you should probably spawn in the base, and then either jump up through toilet or lift and go top of the base and try to move with your teammates, or go car, because obviously, like I said, much more cover, positional advantage. But instead, you kind of present yourself to them, and then there's a guy pink 1, there's a guy pink 2, and there's a guy top center. So you're not getting the kill here. You almost get 1 kill because the guy top center wasn't looking at you, but that's a play that you shouldn't really make, because that's just another death that you're adding onto the total. Which is unfortunate. So right here, there's nothing really you can do about that. They have control. They had 2 dead. You spawned top of the base because of the way that the spawns were blocked. Nothing really you can do about that death. That's just another effect of snowballing. And yeah, so we're gonna keep going here. I know I was sort of holding the trigger down and playing it at a weird speed, but yeah, bottom of the base again. Should probably try to go car here. You guys are all still bottom of the base, towards bottom middle. They are always going to have control and always going to have the height advantage, because and right here, was I hovering over the wrong person? What just happened there? The one guy quits, which is not super surprising. But yeah, you end up dying here, and your teammate quits. So right here, sorry, this is what I was talking about. Right here, you're sitting bottom middle, and what you're doing here is, like, you get some good shots down on that guy, but he's just gonna run away and live. There's nothing really you can do. You are just kind of sitting here, not doing anything. Why did it? What? Theater sucks. All right, there we go. Somehow get a perfect kill on that kid. So nice shots. But yeah, you're just sitting here, not really doing anything. Yeah, you got 1 kill, but they still have control. They still have top middle. They still have numbers. And unfortunately, one of your teammates quit. So you're essentially screwed at this point. Nice shots right there to clean up that kill. So basically, you're just padding the stats at this point. 3v4, it is incredibly hard to win, and when you're down an insane number of kills, like 13 to 30 or 43 to 13, sorry, you're basically screwed. But overall, that should be pretty much the end of the game. Like I said, there's really nothing you can do from this point. You're basically just gonna lose. But not super great team plays in that one. Looks like you're sort of getting some individual kills here to finish it off. I can definitely tell, and I say this in every single episode, but it is very apparent and really nice effort on the overshield guy. So I definitely like to see that you're still playing and you're not giving up, even though the game is basically over. It's good to see that you're still playing. So good sportsmanship. But yeah, this is a good attempt on the overshield guy. Throwing some nades. This is what I was talking about earlier. What you should have been doing in terms of the overshield guy. A really good play. Unfortunately, your last melee didn't connect. That probably should have been a kill. But yeah, didn't see super great team plays. There was a lot of wasted time. Right, time is very important on a Slayer map, and on this Slayer map especially because it is one of the smaller ones, and this map plays so fast because it is very easy for one team to snowball. And I also wouldn't be too discouraged by that score of 50-15. Like big insane like lead or insane like differentials and scores happen on this all the time. This is like getting a 50-15 on Regret is much easier than getting a 50-15 on like the Rig or Plaza because of the amount of like different things that you can do to break out of setups and sort of hold control and go on kill runs. So I wouldn't be too discouraged by that. Like I said, I can definitely see that you're a good player, but definitely try to not waste as much time. You were sort of sitting bottom of the base. You know, keep in mind the angles of which you can get shot from. So like this angle, like I saw you jump off of this thing to go top car. You know, try to utilize cover a little bit more, and obviously keep the positional advantage in mind. If you spawn bottom of the base, maybe instead of just flying out pink and getting shot from all those guys that are top center, maybe try to lift or jump up from the toilet and go top car, play for the noob combo. Keep in mind when the overshield comes up, because the overshield comes up once every 2 minutes, and it is one of 2 power up or power weapons on this map if you don't count the noob combo. There's the caster, and then there's the overshield, and the overshield is much more important than the caster because the caster got nerfed a while back and is nowhere near as good. But yeah, keep all that stuff in mind, and yeah, don't be too discouraged. I'd say yeah, keep grinding. This was a rough one, but rough games happen. So yeah, thank you for submitting your game though, Gabeshot, or I didn't see what your name was, Kid Nice Dynamite. Thank you for the submission. I appreciate it. I hope that you guys, or I hope that you, Gabe, learned a little bit something from this. I hope that helped, and then I hope those of you that watch this also learned a little bit something that can help you out with your gameplay. So keep all that stuff in mind, and keep grinding, because like I said, you've definitely got a nice shot. We're not going to talk about that voice crack. But yeah, it's going to do it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, appreciate, subscribe for new. Much love, much respect as always, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.